Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is October 22nd. Is that right? 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a football game on right now. We're not watching it because we're doing a podcast. It is an NFC game. We have a game coming on 4 o'clock Sunday, originally scheduled for 8.
Ugh, this makes me so mad.
Yeah. It is annoying. It is annoying, but what can you do? What can you do? So we've got a good show for you today. We're going to talk about the all-22, the coach's film from the Green Bay Packers curb stomping, as Molly likes to call it. And we got some information for the upcoming game, and we have injury reports.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See who's hurt, who's not, who's on the COVID list, who isn't.
It's a mess.
We're going to get our list and check it twice, see who's going to play. And then there is, what else is there? News?
I don't have a whole lot of news. So.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Not a whole lot going on.
I know.
It's weird. Okay. Let's see. We have to excuse our mess behind us. Again, we are still in remodeling mode for the studio, if you want to call it that. The people listening to the podcast can't see it, so they're like, what? But yeah, behind us is just a complete mess. And our lighting is no good, so we've got all kinds of excuses. All right. The Packers game. What was it we said after the game? What was our conclusion? Curb stomping.
It was a curb stomping. I mean, I don't know how else to put it.
Well, you know, it's funny. When you watch this all-22, it's always never as bad as it looked, never as good as it looked.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So if you got negativity, just keep it to yourself.
Okay, well, the show's over, folks.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I was really expecting, especially in the second half, to see some really good butt kicking by the Bucs. And now, don't get me wrong, they didn't play bad at all, and they did kick butt. Just wasn't as much as I wanted to see, and you know, it's a little bit of wishful thinking.
Is that defensively or offensively, or both?
Both, actually. Now, we had said during the preview of the game that the best thing the Bucs could do is to run it and, you know, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. And they did. They ran it a lot, very well, actually. Our run blocking has improved greatly, and I don't know if it's because of the opponents we played, you know, with Chicago and Packers, both of them. You know, we came to the conclusion after watching them that they're kind of weak up the middle with the run. They're just not great run stuffers. Not horrible, but it is a weakness for them. And in both games, we've ran very well. Our run blocking is the key. A lot of people are giving Ronald Jones props, and he deservedly so. He's definitely improved his running. But it helps a lot when you don't get hit until, you know, you're 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening with him. And we're getting huge holes, nice holes. There was one, I put out the things I found interesting video on YouTube, and Shady Mccoy, he gets a block, and he's got a nice hole. He's got 78 Wirfs blocking in front of him. And if he would, it was for a first down. It was 3rd and 2. He ended up getting a yard. If he would have followed his blocker, he would have got the first down, no questions. But he decided to run a different way, where he saw what he thought was going to be a bigger opportunity and ended up getting tackled immediately. So if he would have followed his blocker, the offensive line has been blocking real well in the run game. They've been doing pretty good in the pass game, too. You notice Brady ain't getting sacked a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that's due to him getting rid of the ball. But the running backs are not having to stay back there and block. It's incredible. I think I saw one in this game. Maybe 2. But one definitely where the running back, but he missed the block. It was McCoy again. Totally missed the block, and Brady got clobbered. He got the ball off, but he got clobbered.
Did he cuss out Shady?
I don't know. I didn't see it. You know, that's one thing about the all-22. they cut it a certain amount of time after the whistle's blown. They don't give credit. They're not going to sit there and follow players or anything like that. It's very methodical.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get to see a lot of the after action stuff. We bring this up all the time. Did we win? Did they beat us? Did we beat ourselves? Or did the refs do it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now in this game, we had Jerome Boger's crew. This is the same crew we had week 1, where I complained about how horrible they were. They didn't call any holding penalties.
Yeah.
And I counted how many? 24?
29?
Yes, something like that. It was an outrageous amount. Well, in this game, they were almost as bad. There was 16 uncalled penalties, 14 holds that they did not call. And again, these are pretty blatant holds that I call, when I write them down. I'm like, that's pretty blatant. I'm not being nitpicky with the penalties here. So, I give them E grade. Now, people are going to say, well, we didn't get any penalties. Yeah, quite a few of these penalties were on us, the holds. But not that many. But most of them should have been on the Green Bay Packers. We had some hands to the face, a lot of holding. I mean, there was a lot of holding, and it was mainly them holding us.
I just feel like the way that it's going the whole season, that the league was just like, let's cut back on those.
It definitely seems like it. And the Buccaneers need to get that memo. We need to start holding some more or getting prepared. Sue is a very hard guy to hold because he expects to get hold. So hold, knock your hands. And as soon as you hold Sue, he brings his hands down and just like clubs your arm. So he'll bust out of a hold quick. But a lot of these guys don't know how to, like Golston, which I like to talk about him a little bit. Yeah, he's underrated. Mm-hmm. You're not hearing anybody talk about it, but in every game I've watched this year, he's done very, very well.
So he's having a good year.
Props.
He was one of our training camp warriors.
Mm-hmm. Now he's got his weaknesses where he a lot of times he'll get pushed around a bit. He'll get knocked down or moved out of the way or whatever. But other than that, he's a good guy. We're definitely missing Vita in the middle. They had 2 big runs on us. They had a 25-yarder that was the longest run of the season. They ran right up the middle, right where Vita would have been at. And it was just really good blocking on their part. But
I'm curious to see what that new guy that we traded with the Jets to get. McClendon, I think.
Yeah.
Gotten him to replace Vita. So.
But he ain't gonna be no Vita. He's an old vet. He's.
But I'm just curious the difference it'll make.
Yeah. And Nacho, 56. He's playing well, but he's just not Vita. He gets tossed around a little bit, and
there is no other Vita.
No, there's no other Vita, and that's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt our run game, defense. But we got them in a situation where they had to kind of abandon the run.
Yeah. And
this is something I want to kind of bring up. I don't think that we affected Aaron Rodgers as much as I thought. I think it was the wind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that afterwards. Did we rewatch the game? And in the beginning of the game, the broadcaster said the wind was like 50 miles an hour, and you could see it, the trees. And I didn't think anything of it the rest of the game. But, you and I had talked about like, wow, Ryan Suckup had a really good game despite the wind.
The wind was really bad. Raymond James Stadium is notorious for having swirling wind.
Yeah.
It'll be
it's
too
the way
different.
It's designed.
Yeah, it's the way it's designed, and Florida's just flat.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so breeze that starts in the Gulf ends up in the Atlantic Ocean, and just there's nothing stopping it.
Yeah.
It just goes right across. But there was a kickoff, and I pointed this out in the things I found interesting. Green Bay, they kick it off. Now the guy kicks it straight down the field, and it lands about 10 yards out of bounds. You can see it in the air. It's going, and it just goes straight to the right. Yeah, it was like, I was like, whoa, it was very windy. And Aaron Rodgers' passes were just not accurate like like we've seen. And I think the wind really had an effect on how these the passes were handled. They had a couple of dropped passes, which we had talked about that before. These guys just don't drop a whole lot of passes.
Right.
They dropped a lot of passes. Aaron Rodgers was off in his accuracy, which he's notorious, probably the most accurate passer in the league. We did beat him up now. We were getting pressure to him, especially in the second half, because, we knew they were just going to be throwing it. So we were just unleashing the beast on them. But I think the wind had a lot to do with it. And it just seems like they didn't bring their A game.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they brought C+.
So they lost that game, really.
Well, no, I'm not going to take our win from it. I'm not going to say that. But I don't know. It wasn't like they brought their A game and we brought our A game and we just beat them down. Right. It just seems like they, like I said, Aaron Rodgers wasn't throwing accurate. The receivers dropped a few balls. Oh, my gosh. They had a couple times where they had guys wide open. We had busted coverage. It was linebackers' fault. One was Levante David. The other one was Devin White's fault. But both times, the guys got wide open for huge gains, and Rodgers overthrew them. That just doesn't happen. And it's just, when you get those long balls, that wind catches them. And there was not a lot of long balls thrown in this game. And I think it was because of that. Because the wind, it was just incredibly bad out there. You got to see that kickoff, because it's the one where our returner was complaining that it went out of bounds.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but it crossed the goal line barely or whatever. And that guy kicked it straight. He kicked it straight down the field, and it ended up going that far off course. You see it, it's going in the wind. It just goes just like that. I was like, wow.
Hooks, like in bowling sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was putting a hook on it. So, again, it was a great game. I loved it. It was probably one of the best games I've seen us play in 10 years. It meant something. It was against the best team in the league. Do you see we are ranked 4th in the power rankings?
Oh, really?
That's
I had
NFL.com.
seen one where we were right below the Green Bay Packers.
Nah, how can you do that?
I know. Such bullshit. Did you see Pro Football Focus has ya boy Jamel Dean graded like the best?
I love Pro Football Focus. I think they are the best. They really know what they're doing.
Especially with the secondary, they're great at evaluating.
I wouldn't even rate Jamal Dean as the best on our defense, which is saying something.
No, that was like
Dean
the best
fan.
in the league.
Yeah, right.
Best corner in the league.
I wouldn't even say he's the best on our defense right now. Oh, man, that interception was beautiful, though.
Well, Todd Bowles was saying today that he doesn't think that the defense has clicked yet. He said it'll be probably another month before they really click. And I'm like, dang, scary. I know. Yeah. That's how I felt, too.
They don't make mistakes back there.
No.
You do not see a lot of busted coverage. Usually, when you see busted coverage, it's the linebackers or when one of the outside linebackers drops back into coverage and people get confused on that. Something like that. I mean, we've had maybe 5 busted plays on defense this year, and that's incredible. I mean, usually there's that many in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be scary. This is an extremely complicated defense. It's funny. I find it funny how you're starting to see a lot of the national media people and even some of the local media pointing out that this is look at this defense. And we've got Winfield on playing nose tackle.
I know.
And Sue, and I'm saying this is day one.
Yeah.
This is a crazy defense. You cannot look at this defense on any given play and even come close to guessing what they're going to do. You can't do it. I've tried it this whole year. I'll sit there. I always do that when I watch game film. I'll pause it before the snap and I say, okay, what's the offense doing? What do they got going on over here? What's the defense doing? What are they going to try to do? I'm always wrong with our defense. It's just, you never know what they're going to be doing. I have no clue.
You know what I just realized that I did? Doing the preview for the Oakland Raiders, I didn't even think about our offense. I thought about what our defense is gonna do.
But they're fun, man.
I didn't I have no game plan or any thoughts about the offense for this game. It's all about the defense.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. We just got a pick 6 on Aaron Rodgers. He's only had, was it 2?
2.
2 coming in his whole career. He's only had 2.
In like a 15-year career.
Yeah, we gave him 2 interceptions. We scored 28 points in the second quarter. That's the most we've ever scored in any quarter, ever, as Buccaneers. That's crazy. That's against the Packers. They ain't no slouches. They look like slouches, but they ain't no slouches.
Yeah, we made them look like slouches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our running game we did great on the running game. It was.
Did you see Devontae Adams is all salty about Jamel Dean getting that pick 6 on him?
I don't know
He
why.
said something. I think Jamel Dean was like, I knew it was coming, and Devontae Adams was like, yeah, I think he said that just to sound smart or something like that. Like you can tell he's so pissy about it.
That's funny. These guys, they're such competitors.
Yeah.
It's like you get a crap on anything everybody else does.
I know. He's mad about it.
He'll
probably carry that one his whole career.
That's one thing about the modern day NFL that I really don't like is how everybody's kind of polite and they got their the politically correct speech and all that good stuff. It's even the coaches, they won't disparage the other team they're getting ready to play. It's like you listen to Arians talk about the Raiders and he's just like, oh, Weller is awesome and this and that. These guys are really good and all this. I'm like, man, I miss the days when press conferences were fun, man. You get guys up there going, screw that dude. I'm going to stick my foot up his butt. That's what press conferences were back then.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, anybody that wants to see how football used to be compared to now, watch North Dallas 40 and then go watch, just any game now, but you'll watch any given Sunday. And to me, those are the two football movies that really show how football has changed so much. I mean, not that they're true to life, but it definitely shows the perception of how football is and was. So we had a lot of good stuff that happened during this game. Who I'd give the game ball to?
Hold on, let me think about it.
Well, maybe not the game ball, but who made the most difference, had the most good plays.
Ryan Jensen.
Nope. Actually, he played not that great.
Stop it.
For Ryan Jensen. Well, he wasn't as aggressive.
Okay.
I think they told him that.
Levante.
No. Surprisingly. Yeah, although he did play great.
Offense or defense?
Defense. You're going to like this one.
All right. Jordan Whitehead?
Nope.
Dang it.
You
Okay,
got one more guess. One more guess.
Okay.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten it.
Sue.
No. JPP.
Oh, okay. My boy.
He was all over the place. He was the most disruptive one with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I noticed him and Shaq kept putting their arms up to bat the balls down.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. That was it was coached. It wasn't just them. It was almost everybody.
Oh, really? That was their plan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody on the outside edges, when Aaron Rodgers threw that ball, they put their arms up.
Interesting.
And I think JPP got his hand on one of them.
Was it the club or the...
No, actually, I don't think it was JPP. I think it was might have been Barrett or one of the corners. I can't remember. He was staying. He was on the left edge and kind of jumped up a little bit. But
did they switch?
Yeah. JPP and Barrett were switching back and forth through this whole game.
Oh, gotcha.
It's so strange how Bowles is using them. Doing that, switching them around so much and. I don't know. I really think Shaq Barrett is better on the right and JPP is better on the left. It seems like when they do that, that's when they get JPP got a strip sack on Rodgers, when they switched.
Yeah.
They just need to stay that away. So JPP had the best game. I was really surprised because you didn't hear his name
not at all
during the game. But yeah, he was really getting up in Rodgers' face. He was the one that was back there the most. Yeah, Sue, surprisingly, we said after the game, we were like, Sue should get the game ball.
Yeah.
He had those 2 plays, and that was about it.
Really?
Yeah. Devontae David did that play really good. He did very good. He had that one breakdown in coverage that should have been probably a touchdown by Green Bay, but Rodgers overthrew it. It was just so strange. Guy's wide open.
It had to be the win because that's so out of character for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was a lot of passes where they were slightly behind the guy or a little bit out in front, just enough, just Aaron Rodgers never does that.
Yeah, but did Tom Brady have the same issue?
Yeah, a little bit. He didn't throw that much. We ran the ball.
Well, we got up so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't throw the ball deep hardly at all. When we did throw the ball, it was just to get enough.
I wonder if it was the game plan because of the wind.
Might have been. It was a smart game plan. That's why Evans didn't really. I think he had one catch or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Like 2 yards.
Yeah, we
10 yards.
didn't really pass the ball that much downfield.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan Wirfs is not just good, especially for a rookie, but he's tough.
Really?
We talked about last week. He twisted his ankle.
Yeah.
And it looked horrible to me. I was like, whoa, I couldn't have got up from that. And he weighs about 200 pounds more than I do.
know.
He just, all of his weight went on his ankle sideways. And, I was like, man, there's no way he's going to get up from that. And he did, just kept playing. He was on the field on all fours, and he dropped immediately.
Yeah.
Well, this game, there was a lot on this one. He gets bent over backwards.
What?
Yeah, a guy comes up and is tackling the runner and gets slung off the runner and hits Wirfs in the back of the legs. And Tristan Wirfs falls backwards over the guy and bends all the way. His leg is up underneath the guy. That same ankle that was hurt last week is up under the guy. And you can see it. It's all bent up. And Tristan Wirfs is bent like a bow underneath this guy. And apparently he was screaming or something because you can see all of our guys on the field turn around and look at him. Well, I put this in the video, things I found interesting. This was a run by Ronald Jones, and I think we got like 17 yards or something. It's great blocking. And he's running. He's still going while Tristan Wirfs is back there screaming. And you see everybody turn to Wirfs. Donovan Smith... Yeah, he didn't have such a great game. He didn't get beat a lot, but it was just like, a lot of times I was like, what are you doing, Donovan? This was one of those times. He comes out, he goes to block somebody on the second level, totally whiffs, misses him. And then he's like kind of walking down the field, and Wirfs gets bent over backwards right next to him. And he turns around. And you know how dopey Donovan can be, where he just kind of, his arms to his side and everything. Yeah. And he's just standing there. There's a play going on.
He just stands there.
He's standing there looking at Wirfs. He's got his back to the runner.
Oh, my God.
I was like, for one, this guy could use some help blocking over here. Because at that point, there was like 3 guys coming after Ronald Jones. But you could see everybody on our offense turn and look at Tristan Wirfs laying on the ground. He had to have screamed out in pain. And then they all realized that the play was still going on. So you see him start to run towards the play, except Donovan Smith. He's just standing. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like, you know how he is. We've talked about this so many times where he's just kind of a loafer. And this was him right in the middle of this action going on, people flying all over the place. And he's just standing there looking at some dude on the ground screaming in pain, I guess.
Oh, my God.
I was like, Donovan, what are you doing, man? But worse, got right back up, played. I was like, I couldn't even do that. I'm not that flexible, but I know I got to be more flexible than him. And there's no way I could have got up after that. Yeah, he's a tough guy, man. So I'm glad we got him.
Me too. I think he's a really good find. I was skeptical. I'm always skeptical about the draft, like rookies. Always like, prove it.
Yeah, that's right. That's how I am all the time.
Yeah.
Prove it, get out on the field. Because you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
There's no way to know. When those bright lights get on you, man, people do some crazy stuff. Yeah. Shady McCoy has really not done anything with us this year. And I would say he's been more of a hindrance.
Really?
Yeah. His rushing has got to be in the negative. We're damn near close too.
I hate how he holds the ball. It's like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Michael Vick. Michael Vick was like that.
Yeah. And he's shifty and everything, but
maybe not the back that he used to be.
First,
yeah.
He just doesn't seem like he's fitting in or something. Ronald Jones is playing great. But like I said, a lot of it has to do with our run blocking. It's gotten extremely better.
Well, I wonder if Shady's still kind of coming back from injury and trying to get his feet under him.
Well, he likes to juke around
finesse,
too much.
Yeah.
He gets those happy feet in the backfield, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like pick a hole and go. But there's that. Ronald Jones is playing great. Vaughn is, it seems to be a decent runner, but man, he can't catch the ball for shit. I swear to God, he's got to have.
Does he have worse hands than Rojo?
At this point, he's got to. Statistically, I don't even know if he's caught a ball. He's had like 4 thrown to him. He's got 1 fumble, interception fumble. Or what is it? Catch fumble when he got hit.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, so with Vea out, we've got a different lineup on our special teams, on our extra points.
Really?
Yes. And we've got, Vea played on special teams. He's a right guard, I think, or right tackle. Yeah, however, special teams lineup, he was on the right side. And now we've got Josh Wells over there.
Oh, God.
Well, he's on the outside, and he's worrying me, man, because
oh, no.
every extra point, guys got close because he sticks his arm out, which is what you're supposed to do. Guys running around, you just kind of slow him down a little bit. And it just seemed like he was just going through the motions, and he wasn't stopping them at all.
Maybe McClendon can take that spot.
No, he's not. He's a vet. He ain't gonna do that. He'll probably have a hissy fit.
We can dream. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they just shuffled around because of Vea. They being gone, they had to put somebody else in there, and then that took the guy from the outside. So it's just all shuffled around. But it's a little concerning for me. That Josh Wells, he's got to get up on his stuff. I've been saying that for 2 years now. Yeah. He scares me. Other than that, the game was pretty much what we saw. We were definitely the better team, no question about that. But they didn't bring their A game, and it wasn't because we beat them up. I didn't feel. It seems like there was some other factors going on there. But we did take advantage of it and just shoved it down their throat. So, we walked out of there with a decisive
we got the
victory.
W.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
And it was decisive.
Yeah.
There was no doubt about that we were the better team. 0 penalties. Of course, there should have been some, but
yeah,
there should have been a lot more.
Oh, I forgot about that. We had no penalties. So you're saying we should have had some.
No, our guys played much more disciplined football, especially the offensive line. You could tell those guys were, like I said earlier, Jensen, he didn't play with the fire he normally plays with, and you could tell he's got chewed out or something because there wasn't no hitting after he wasn't pushing guys around. I think I saw one kind of pushing a guy around.
Come on, don't take that out of him.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to make a conscious decision to make smarter decisions. Well, and especially if BA thinks, and BA named him specifically, I think guys like Jensen have a target on their back. So they may have said to him, Jensen, they're watching you. Yeah, don't give them a reason. Just play smarter. So, but I would still like to see him
Yeah, I like
hit
seeing
people.
them out there tossing guys around,
do
getting up
too.
in people's faces. I love that crap.
Me too.
Yeah, that's what football's all about.
Yeah,
The Jimmys and the Joes.
that's right.
All right, so that's about it for the all-22, the coach's film. Nacho, Nacho played Nacho. He's got a lot of energy. He tries hard. He's got a motor on him.
Is he smaller than Vito?
Everybody's
everyone's smaller than Vito. I don't know why I asked that.
Yeah, he's small. He's faster, not by a whole lot, or more wily, I guess.
Okay.
Wiggly. But he just doesn't have that strength. And nobody has that strength. I mean, Sue has that old man strength where, you can't move. You can't move Sue if he doesn't want you to move. He'll take on double
He's not going to
team.
eat that pudding cup, and you can't make him.
He can stand his ground. That's one of the reasons why our run game is so good, our run defense. And that's how Vita was. Vita didn't get pushed around. Vita pushed everybody else around. Wherever Vita wanted to go, that's where Vita went. And that's how Sue is. Nacho's not that away. Golson's not that away. Ledbetter's not that away. O'Connor's not that away. It's very special to be able to have guys who can stand their ground with double teams.
Mm-hmm.
These guys will get double teamed and they'll be able to stand their ground. One guy is definitely not going to move Vita or Sue. The best they could do is hope to get in the way of them as they're trying to get somewhere. So it's a real concern for me having Vita out. You could see it a little bit in the run game last week. When we face a monstrous run team, it's going to worry me a little bit. But other than that, our team is just really good. And we didn't even use Mike Evans or Chris Godwin's that much. This was really about our defense and our run game. And they played excellent.
I like it.
Yeah. So it's nice to have those options.
I know.
Not to depend on the long ball all the dang time.
Yeah. Chunking it.
Chunking it.
That being really the only option.
You want to get through some news before we do the preview to the Raiders game?
Do you have any news? I don't have any.
Yeah, I've got some news.
Okay, go ahead.
This is really not news so much as it is the Green Bay Packers game. Tom Brady had a 104.9 rating.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers came in third in the ratings category. Blaine Gabbert had a 39.6 quarterback rating in that game. Aaron Rodgers ended up with a 35.4.
No.
Blaine Gabbert beat Aaron Rodgers with quarterback rating. Oh, I couldn't get enough of that. I laughed.
There is some justice in the world.
Yes. Blaine Gabbert finally on top.
The second best quarterback on the field.
Was Blaine Gabbert. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about the game, individual notes and stuff, but we just are running short on time a little bit. Plus, I want to get to watching this game.
I know.
All right, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, the Raiders.
Did you have any news?
No.
None?
No.
Hey, nothing's going on in Bucs world.
Huh? Okay, so, the big news really is the whole COVID thing with the Raiders.
Man.
And that's what's defined this week, basically. So, on Monday, they had, and all this is from Tom Pelissero on NFL.com. So the Raiders, they had a positive case Monday, and I can't tell if it was rookie cornerback Damon Arnett was the first one to go on the COVID reserve list. So he was the first one this week to test positive, and that was Monday. But then they were saying on Monday there was an additional positive test. And so Wednesday they announced that they were putting Trent Brown, the right tackle, on the reserve list.
Oh, so he's out.
So he did test positive. Yeah. He is the only one on the offensive line who has tested positive thus far, but they sent the whole offensive line home on Wednesday to isolate, and they're all on the COVID list until they have to be on there it's like 5 days after contact, so they can all theoretically play so long as they test negative. They can play on Sunday. Safety, Jonathan Abram, he also tested positive, so he's on the list. Or no, I'm sorry, he did not test positive. They discovered through contact tracing that he may have been exposed, so he's isolating too. The NFL is reviewing their COVID procedures because they're saying that Trent Brown had not consistently been wearing his his tracking device, and then there was video of all the offensive linemen hanging out together without masks. So the NFL is reviewing all this.
And John Gruden had gotten fined $100,000 for not wearing his mask.
Which, the offensive linemen hanging out without wearing, I just think that's so stupid because
I think it's
they
all
play
stupid.
Together all the time without masks.
They beat the...
What difference does it make?
Yeah.
It makes no difference.
And
it is so stupid.
And none of them get sick. It's all asymptomatic.
They're all asymptomatic.
And they're not.
Exactly.
It's not killing them.
Yeah.
That's for dang sure. That's crazy.
So I'm not really clear on where it came from. It kind of seems like Damon Arnett, the corner, was the first one, so maybe he brought it in, but I don't know. They just came off their bye, so it's really hard to say where it even came from.
And it could be another false positive. The false positive rate in this testing stuff is incredible. They really need to look into that.
I know.
It's like at around 50%.
Well, it happened a couple weeks ago where the Colts facility, they had 4 players test positive. They shut the whole facility down. And then come to find out it was a false positive. All of them were false positives.
Right. And it was the coach in college. Who was it? Gosh, big coach. Can't remember. I think FSU coach. He tested positive and then immediately took tests afterwards, 3 other tests that all showed negative, and he tested positive, and they were like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to cancel the whole school year basically.
Right.
And then, he's like, no, I tested positive. This is it. I don't know. It's just it's insane. The whole thing, all of it's insane to me. So we might not play Sunday.
No. I guess that's a possibility. They did flex our game. Or unflex it, really. Or a reverse flex.
Deflated?
Yeah, deflated. It
Yeah, that's something we talked about at the beginning of the year, and how exciting it was, and we're going to get all these primetime games. Now they've taken one from us.
This is such bullshit. So
this year's really screwed us over.
They moved us. We were supposed to play Sunday at 8:20. They moved us back to 4:05, and now the Seahawks in Arizona are going to be playing in our spot. Which this just pisses me off. I'm boycotting that Sunday night game.
No, you're not. You're going to watch it.
You don't know me. So that's kind of the big storyline this week. Now, as far as the preview goes, so again, I only looked at the Raiders offense because I completely forgot that we have an offense.
I'm telling you, having a good defense like that is exciting, isn't it?
Well, and it almost seems like our offense, we kind of do the same thing every week. It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's not really fair to say because, some weeks our passing game has been on point. Other weeks we've relied on the run game, tight ends, so they do kind of rotate. But the the main thing I think, so the Raiders, they are 3-2 currently. They've had a bye, and they're 2-0 against NFC South opponents. They've beat Carolina and the Saints.
The Saints.
They also beat Kansas City, and they are 0-2 against the AFC East. They lost to the Bills and the Patriots. Now, they've all kind of been close games, like score-wise, and Oakland can put up some points. Like, we watched the Kansas City game, which that was a great game. It was kind of back and forth. The Chiefs got up first, and then it was just kind of a shootout and kind of a back and forth, but Oakland just beat the crap out of Patrick Mahomes, it felt like. Like, they were getting after him basically all game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Pat's offensive line is not that great or the Raiders' defensive line. Again, I'm like, I don't even care about our offense right now. But one thing that stuck out to me, first of all, their run game. All but one of their games, they've had a 100-yard rush game. So the only team to hold them to less than 100 yards rushing were the Buffalo Bills. And they got 86 yards, so closer to 100 yards than that. Their passing game, they kind of averaged between 250 300. Kansas City, they did Carr threw for 347 yards, so that one was a shootout. And then Buffalo, of course, with not being able to rush as much, they did make up for that in the passing, so they had 311 yards there. But what really stuck out to me was that Carr has a fumbling problem. He has 5 fumbles on the season.
Wow.
He's had 5 games. He's lost 4 of them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're going to feast.
Yeah. So I think that's going to kind of be an issue. And, with these problems, it's kind of like they just, they get worse. It's like, it gets in your head, and then you keep doing it. So I'm curious to see the ball security. And I don't know what the issue is. Was it, a fumbled handoff? Is it he's not meshing with his center? I don't really know what the issue is. The stats don't tell you that, for one. Is it when he gets hit? I don't know. But it was just a stat that kind of stuck out to me. Like, he had 2 fumbles in the New Orleans game. There were 3 fumbles in the New England game. Not all of them were Derek Carr's, and then 2 fumbles in the Buffalo game too. So it's, they do have a ball security issue.
Wow, and we're very good at getting the ball out of your hands.
Yeah, we capitalize on
Come on, Levante.
I know, exactly.
And JPP.
I did want to point out that in the New Orleans game, New Orleans had 10 penalties for 129 yards. Like, it was outrageous.
Against the Raiders?
The Raiders, yeah. So they are good at running. They can shoot it down the field too. So what did you think when you saw them? Yeah,
that seems to be their thing. They've got Waller, the tight end. He is like their whole offense as far as the passing game goes. And
I got the guy Ruggs too. He's all right. I dropped him. I had him in fantasy and then dropped him because he wasn't.
But they rely on Waller.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively.
And I'm really curious with that because last year, tight ends did phenomenal against us, but this year, not so much.
Yeah, right. And Green Bay's tight end, what's his name, Tanyan? Yeah, I think he had 1-2 catches. Didn't do a whole lot against us. But Waller is used differently with the Raiders than he is with most teams. Like, they'll use Waller with end arounds. They use him in the running game. He'll run the ball. They just use him a lot all over the field, and he runs deep routes.
Yeah.
He will run a 40-yard route just as quick or just as often as he'll run a 5-yard route. But that's like you said with the Raiders. It seems like that's what they do. They run the ball, they run the ball, they run the ball. They show pass, then boom, down the field.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of deep passes, and quite a few of them to Waller, which you're like, why is there a tight end 40 yards down the field catching a pass? But the guy's he's talented. He's huge too.
Yeah.
They use a lot of tricky plays. Now this is John Gruden. We all any Buck fan that's been around since 2002 or something. We know all about John Gruden, inside and out. He loves his matchups. That's what he looks for. He looks for he'll do 15 adjustments at the line of scrimmage. To get the matchups he wants.
Who do you think he'll pick on our defense?
Ain't nobody to pick on.
I know. Yeah. But who, like, if you're John Gruden?
Oh, he would try to get Waller on White. Because that's White's weakness is pass coverage.
Coverage, yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. What he would think would be a matchup, Bowles is going to have it be a completely different defense by the time the ball snapped.
Yeah.
When the ball snapped. So, this is going to be both teams are very, very smart. I'll tell you that. The Raiders are a smart team. Their defense is smart. They don't get fooled a lot. They don't get tricked off. Our team never gets tricked. We never get fooled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's rare if we even fall for a play action, or the trickiest play in the book you could run against us, and our guys will be able to keep up with it. And that's the way the Raiders are. So this is going to be a very smart game. I think it's going to be a battle of the coaches.
Yeah, it's going to be a chess match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got a good run game, and their offensive line is good. It's going to suck if their offensive line is, if it sucks. Trent Brown's going to be on injured reserve. I like to play the good guys, but it's going to be even worse if any of their other offensive linemen have to sit out.
Do you think it'll be a detriment them not practicing?
Yeah, I don't know. It might be better for them.
Yeah, they rest up. Well, they've already had a week of rest from the bye week.
Ooh, they might get fat and lazy.
I know. You never know.
Their kickoff team is very, very good at tackling. Yeah, those guys, they're scary good. They hit to try to knock the ball out. It's like if you the best thing to do would be a fair catch against these guys. Because if you catch the ball and you try to run with it, they are going to clobber you. And they're going to try to get that ball out of your hands. Tackling on their defense is suspect. This is something, John Gruden is an offensive guy. And who is their defensive coordinator?
I have no idea. I was just thinking about it.
God, the old coach for the Jaguars, Jack Del Rio, right?
Oh, no. Isn't he with Washington?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I
think.
Who is their, anyhow, don't know who their defensive coordinator is, but, I'm not saying they're bad tacklers, but they're not the best, and Rojo might be able to squeeze through some of them. Chris Godwin, you got to tackle him when he catches the ball. Gronk, you got to tackle him. Mm-hmm. So, and that's one good thing. That's one thing I want to say about our team. It doesn't get near the credit they deserve. We tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of missed tackles on our team?
No.
Exactly.
And when we were watching the Raiders, that was one thing I thought about as well. It's been so long since we've seen a team like that.
I know, right?
For the Buccaneers,
and it sucks when you have a team that misses tackles.
They can't tackle. I know.
Yeah, I would think that all season long we've had maybe 10 missed tackles. That's incredible. In 6 games. I mean,
we're just a very physical team.
We're a very disciplined team, very, very smart and disciplined team, and physical. Yeah. I do think it's going to be a chess match this game. I think we are the better team. I don't know if they're going to be able to get over top with us on those deep passes. If they can't, they have no hope of beating us.
I think that we can't underestimate them. Because they are a good team, and they beat good teams. So it's one of those. It's kind of like the Chicago Bears game. Like, I don't want to get caught with our pants around our ankles again.
Well, I'm not too concerned about their run game. It's a little tough, and without Vita in there, our run game is not going to be, our run defense isn't going to be on as points.
Yeah, but Golston is kind of our run stuffer.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, yeah, we're not going to get clobbered in the run game, no doubt. But with their run blocking, it's going to be more of a challenge for us. I think this will probably be our most challenging running game.
Which is funny because I don't even know who their running backs are. Jacobs, yeah. I think.
I think they have a committee. Yeah, Jacobs is.
Yeah, it's a committee, but it's very effective, whatever it is.
But they just got a great offensive line. Those guys know how to block. Very good run blockers. Gruden does like his offensive linemen. So, what do you think's going to happen?
I think.
I did want to bring up Carl Nasim.
Yeah.
Broke his toe.
Yeah, he's on the injury report, but he's practicing.
Oh, so he's out there practicing?
Yeah, of course he is.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he's been limited all week, but he's practicing.
So we're going to get to see Carl Nasim against Donovan or Wirfs?
Yeah. I miss him so much. He was like one of the ones in the offseason I was so upset about. But I was glad to see him go get a spot somewhere else, but he's still a rotational guy at Oakland. I don't think he's starting. No, well, when we watched him, I mean, he wasn't.
Well, he might have broken his toe at that point. He's number 94.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got number 94, number 98. I can't remember.
I don't know who 90 was.
So, all right, what do you think? This is a tough one, right?
It is a really tough one. I'm going to pick the Bucs. I'm going with the Bucs. Forget it. I do think it'll be a shootout. I'm going to go with 31-27 Bucs.
That's what you picked last week, except you picked the Packers.
So, leave me alone. That's what I want to pick, all right?
I don't know. I'm going to keep this us curb stomping people trend going.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, I know Gruden. Gruden's not a fighter. Once you get him on the ground, he's ready to quit.
I like it.
So I'm going to say we come out and we just start beating the heck out of them. I think our defense is going to, put their offensive line to the test. Gosh, I really wish Vita was still playing. But, I think Barrett is going to have a good breakout game. Now, somebody asked Arians, one of the media guys asked him in the press conference why Barrett hasn't been getting the numbers that he's that he didn't get last year. Mm-hmm. And it makes me want to pull my hair out. I'm like, watch the game film. Watch the game. You'll know immediately because they're dropping him back in coverage 20% of the time. It's like, this is not brain science.
It's not a mystery.
Rocket surgery. Yeah. And, but, even when he is in, able to rush the passer, they, he usually they'll put somebody, a tight end over there to help a little bit or running back or whatever. But he gets close. He's getting putting pressure in there. And I'm hoping he'll have a breakout game. A couple of sacks. And what was that noise? So
somebody's getting into the snacks.
I'm going to say that we come out, defense really puts a hurting on them real quick, and then our offense lights it up. So I'm going to go with, what did you say, 30 what?
31-27.
I'm going to go with 42.
Whoa.
24.
All right.
We're going to put up some numbers up against these guys. I don't think their defense is going to be able to hold up against us.
Dang.
Yep.
All right, let's run through the injury report real quick and then we'll wrap it up. Ours is pretty, it's not that bad, I guess. Safety Andrew Adams has a hamstring injury. He was limited Wednesday, did not practice Thursday. Tom Brady was on the injury report, but it wasn't injury related.
Has Tristan Wirfs been on the injury report at all with his ankle?
No.
That's incredible. Wow. How about Winfield?
Um,
Winfield looked like he hurt his hand at one
yeah,
point. His
no,
wrist.
he's a shoulder.
Shoulder, okay.
To be 21, 22 again, not feel it.
Be able to drop 300 pounds on your ankle twice and walk away from it.
Okay, so Tom was on the injury report. He did not practice Wednesday, but was full practice Thursday, so probably a Veterans Day off. Levante David has a knee injury. He's been limited all week. Carlton Davis, he practiced Wednesday, was not on the injury report, and then apparently got a knee injury Thursday, so he was limited.
Who was that?
Carlton Davis.
Ooh.
Mike Evans has an ankle injury. He was limited all week. Leonard Fournette with his ankle is a full participant this week, so hopefully we'll get him back. William Golston has a bicep injury. He was limited Wednesday, fully participated Thursday. Chris Godwin with his hamstring, he was limited all week. Gronk did not practice Wednesday with a shoulder injury and was limited Thursday. Scotty Miller with the hip and groin injury was limited all week. Jason Pierre-Paul, he was limited all week with a knee injury. And then Antoine Winfield Jr. with his shoulder injury was limited all week. On the Raiders side, okay, so Jonathan Abram, they have him listed, not injury related. Of course, he went to the COVID list. Defensive tackle Malik Collins has a shoulder injury. He's been limited all week. Wide receiver Brian Edwards has a foot/ankle injury. He did not practice. Wide receiver Rico Gafford has a hamstring. He was a full participant all week. Guard, okay, so the whole offensive line is on here. Cornerback LaMarcus Joyner has a hamstring. He was limited all week. Linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski has a pec injury. He was a full participant. Tackle Colton offensive lineman again. Carl Nassib with the toe, limited all week. Cornerback Keyshawn Nixon has a groin injury. He did not practice all week. And then tackle Sam Young has a knee injury, was a full participant all week. So Oakland, aside from the offensive line, not that bad.
Aside from their offensive line.
Yeah. Who are not injured and are probably playing. So,
man, I hope to gosh that we play. There is a possibility this game gets canceled. That's why they moved it up, because they wanted to be able to make sure there was a Sunday night game. And if we needed to cancel our game, then it wouldn't have hurt the networks as bad.
Greg Allman said it's probably not going to be postponed or anything because Oakland's already had a bye. So it's tricky,
Yeah, but I mean, if their
what do you
offensive
do
line can't play.
Yeah, if you don't have an offensive line, what do you do?
There's nothing you can do.
I don't know.
Put the defensive line out there.
I know. Something. You did it to yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
It's your fault.
Should have worn your mask.
All right. On that note, we're going to wrap this up and go watch this battle of the have-nots between the Giants and the Eagles.
Okay, so they are the Giants are 1-5, and the Eagles are 1-4-1, and Eagles are second in that division.
Yeah, that division is a cluster of despondency,
mediocrity.
Yeah, horrible. I'm glad we're not in that division.
No,
I wish we were in that
I
division.
know,
I wish we were at least playing
fair.
that division.
I know.
I'd give us some free wins. Who's playing that division in the AFC?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. That's going to wrap it up for us. Until next time.
Go Bucs.